Coming to you with deck profile, one of the decks that my brother and I ran for the ARG circuit this weekend. This weekend that passed on Saturday, right? Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. Yeah. So the event was amazing. There was a lot of hitters there. I mean, a lot of incredible people there. When we stepped into the event, you could smell the competition, the atmosphere. It was absolutely incredible. Kind of upset a few people wasn't there. To Scott Dashie, a few other people who we were looking forward to potentially playing in the event, and some New York players who wasn't able to make it. These guys are grinding. They're working so hard, and they're trying to prove themselves, and they are good. And this would have been a great event for them to prove themselves because they do pose some competition to us, to myself, my brother, and our team. So unfortunately they couldn't make it, but you know, ultimately the future provides such great opportunity and hope for the game and for players who are trying to step their game up and trying to do big things in the community. So without further ado, I am going to run through the deck, show you exactly what was played in the Vegeta blue-green deck, and you know, give you guys some tips, tricks, and again, guys, after the deck profile is done, just let me know if you like it, and you know, we'll move from there. So without further ado, Vegeta was played. This guy, such a great card. I mean, the thing about this card, though, what people fail to realize is that you gotta be very calculated, right? Very calculated when you're playing this card, because you'll find yourself in a predicament that you really don't want to be in. And that's trying to survive when you've picked up all your cards, you've critted as much as you can. Now your opponent is like, no, I'm gonna run at you, I'm gonna explode at you, I'm gonna self-sacrifice at you, I don't care. You got a little bit of life left, you've abused his effect, you've critted me to death, that's it. So you gotta play calculated with this guy. He's very noob friendly, but he's pro friendly as well. So he's a very well-rounded leader for that matter. Alright, so we played 4 energy boosted Majin Buu. This guy is such a great card for blue. Simple, you draw a card. Nothing much for me to really say about this card. Next. Here's the green part of the deck. 4 Brawly, the Rampage, Dawn of the Rampage. This guy is such a great card. Turn 1, obviously, you guys know what he does now by now. He's a tutorer. He searches the deck for the cards, top 7. He would still be a good card, even if he searched out top 5. He doesn't. 7 is so much more better. You still can miss off of it, but top 5, you know, still would be such a great thing for him. You know what I mean? This guy is great because he searches out for some of the main pieces in the deck that you're gonna see now. So we played 2 Brawly, the Unstoppable Horror. Again, guys, this is the promo. He is kind of hard to get. He's not early in circulation. A lot of people want him. There are other alternatives for him, such as energy boosted Barris. This guy definitely is a replacement for him, but he's so much more better because he has a search engine for him, and also, you know, he becomes a little bit cheaper, especially when you evolve him. So you can do some pretty jank things, you know, evolve. It's just, yeah, there's some pretty stupid things. Play 4 Rampage in Life Form by Brawly. This card is such an amazing card. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of bad, you know, things to say about this card, such as it not being, you know, the best because you have to evolve this card. This card is incredible, simply because when you do evolve him, he puts so much stress on your opponent. He's 20k attacker and double strike. Really not much your opponent could do. This card is a good card, albeit you have to evolve. He becomes a 4-drop. I mean, turn 4, you play this card. Your opponent discards 2 cards. I mean, you don't attack. They're not evolved. They lost 2 cards. They draw and they charge. It's 1 for 1. It's, you know, gotta play right with the card, that's all. Now, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the big boy. Raleigh, the Rampage and Horror, played 4 of this. I mean, you gotta play 4 of this card because you want to see this card. If he's in hand early game, you're gonna drop him, and that's the reason why you have to play more than enough copies, because you do want to hit them at least once or twice with this card. 30k, double strike, evolve. He has 5 key to pay with evolve, and he's a game winner. He's a game breaker. Once you drop him, you take those 2 cards. You hit maybe 2 10Ks sometimes, or at least coercion or some very important card that they need. You can push out for the win. This guy is such an incredible card. So you kind of see how the deck kind of works, the aspect with the crit, the hand control. He also played 3 energy power go tanks. This card again, such a great card later than earlier, but late game, you drop this card, you put stress on your opponent, you attack, they gotta discard a card. Sometimes they can't afford to take that one. It's just a 1. Attack, discard a card. Now when I come out with my big boys to attack, you have less cards in your hand to defend, I can potentially win. This card is such a great card. I mean, 3 7 Vegetas is the crit aspect of the deck. It goes hand in hand with the discard, obviously, because crit obviously can't get a card from your hand anymore, from the life to your hand. So very, very, very great. I only play 3 of this card because, again, there's no other Vegeta in my deck that requires me to evolve, otherwise I would play 4. You usually see these guys, either way you're picking up with Vegeta, and you know, you're drawing, shuffling, you're moving through a lot of cards in the deck, so you see this card. So it's a very great card like that. More crit, Overflowing Spirit, Super Saiyan God, Son Goku, such a long name. This guy is such a great card. A lot of people think he isn't, especially because he's 15k. But the thing about it is that when he attacks, he gets 20k. He gets 10k boost, so he comes to 25k. They say, oh, once he's tapped, he's just 15k, but it doesn't matter. You want to protect this guy. You protect this guy, you attack, and then you crit this guy with further destruction chomper. He's already at 35 when he attacks. If you got 5 energy, then you put a 10k boost over this guy, maybe a Piccolo, what have you. This guy's a truck with crit. They gotta take that. 2 Jackals. We would have wanted to play more, obviously, but this card is such a great card, lifesaver. I mean, there's really not much to say about this card. You do intend on adding a little bit extra to the deck, maybe 1 or 2 more, if space provides. But this card is such a necessary card for any meta game, for any game in general. Whether you're playing for fun, this card is amazing. Your opponent going hard at you, trying to win for game. You catch 2 to 3 of these cards in your hand. You put 15k as defending, and you take 30 to 20k off of their attack. Jesus Christ, this card is great. 4 energy boost to Piccolo. 4 energy boost to Piccolo. Not much to say about this card. Any deck you're playing, you need your color 10k, period. And you need to play 4 of them. They're too good. If you're not, you're probably gonna lose. And for the last battle cards, 2 Barriers, General of Demolition. This guy is such a great card. A lot of people don't like him sometimes because he's so late. Then there's some fears such as Crushable, Cold Bloodlust, and all these things I like. But I mean, when you drop this guy and you're safe, even at least Coercion hurts. Because that's 3 cards out of their hand. And you're already taking cards from their hand. You're critting them also. I mean, it just works so well with the deck. Battle extra cards, Force Sensu Beam. Not much to say about this card. This card's such an amazing card. It's gonna get you out of crazy situations, potentially help you survive, and potentially help you win. Do some shenanigan plays with it. 4 objections, in the words of my teammate Anthony Hernandez, you're bad, but it's not bad. 4 objections, ensure that you do get this card. This card is such a great card for the deck because it allows you get so much hand power with this deck. So maybe 4 might be a little bit over the water, but you gotta make sure that you have this card. You know, to each his own, but we like this card. Objection is good in our book. 4 weeks Coercion. This card is one of the best negations in the game. Not much to say about this card. You do stupid plays. I mean, You have 3 coercions. At one time I had 3 coercions. Coercion. They had 1 full power. I stand at the green energy, and I protect myself from an onslaught of attacks. So that's the deck profile, guys. You know, hopefully you guys like it. If you have any suggestions or what have you, feel free to do it. Be obliged, you know, to give us that. And you know, that's the ARG top 4 blue-green Vegeta deck profile. You know, that my twin brother Ian Hill ran. A little bit about the tournament. Like I said, guys, the tournament was amazing. Astrophere was incredible. You guys, we had 34 players, I believe it was, 34, 35 players at this ARG Circuit Series. Go out to your locals, play, get good, grind, get ready, guys. Travel, come to these events. Let's have some fun, guys. This is such a great game. It's still new. This is the grind time, all right, guys? 4 of my teammates was in top 8. It was incredible. I mean, this is the time for us now to be working as hard as we can to become the very best. All right, guys. So have a good one, and the Hill Twin out. Don't come down here fucking up my deck profile, all right?